guys, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Lisa. I'm a registered nurse based on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. I wanted to do a short video for you guys today to educate you on what is oxidative stress. Now, oxidative stress is a term that I didn't get taught through nursing. It's something I've discovered since then. It's something that's in the field of nutrigenomics, and it's something you will hear more and more of as you move forward further in life. Now, when I first started describing oxidative stress to people, I was really passionate about the science, and I would start using all these terms, and people would just deer in the headlights at me and I could see that the information just wasn't making any sense to them, but it's something that I really believe everybody should know about. And so what I did was I started to think of what was an analogy, what was a way for people to understand the importance of oxidative stress, and how important it is to protect our bodies against that. And so that got me to thinking, firstly, I wanted to remind you guys, our whole bodies are made up of cells. We have over 370 trillion cells in our bodies at any given time. And basically the health of those cells, because we rebuild and we regenerate on a regular basis, the health of those cells is massively important. We've got skin cells, we've got brain cells, we've got liver cells, we've got kidney cells. So we've got cells that goes throughout the whole way throughout our body. So a normal healthy cell, if you were to look at it under a microscope, it's perfectly round, it's got nice, clean, crisp edges, and it looks like a healthy cell. Then you've got cells that are attacked by too many free radicals in the body. As those cells are attacked, they become damaged and they become broken, and that creates what we call oxidative stress in the body. Now, when you have high oxidative stress in the body, that is directly linked with more than 200 different disease states. That's huge, 200 different disease states. So if you were to go onto pubmed.gov and you put in high oxidative stress and whatever you want to, whatever you're currently interested in, you will find how much research has been done on each of those things. And there is a high correlation between more than 200 different diseases and high oxidative stress. So it's a big deal, and researchers know it's a big deal. So if we understand that we are made up of cells, and we understand that we rebuild and we regenerate on a regular basis, what I wanted to show you today is a way of understanding oxidative stress, which hopefully gives you a good visual on what happens inside our bodies. So I want you to go back, and most of us have got, either remember playing with Lego, or we've got children who've got Lego, but I want you to go back for just a moment and contemplate the Lego piece. That lovely little Lego piece there? This is a building block. The cells of our bodies are building blocks. With this Lego piece, when you've got a whole lovely pile of them, you can create a magnificent structure. I mean, go on to Google and have a look at what some people have created with Lego blocks. They have replicated Taj Mahals, they've replicated the Opera House, they've replicated the Colosseum. You can create amazing structures out of very small building blocks. But what if your building blocks looked like this? And I'm going to try and get this nice and close for you. Have a look at that. That is a Lego block that I attacked with a hammer, and it's meant to replicate oxidative stress in the body. So oxidative stress causes damage and degradation of cells or building blocks. So if this is the cell of our body and it's looking manky like that, what would happen if I gave you a pile of Lego and you needed every piece in that pile to create whatever it is that you're going to create? Say it was a house. I said, right, you're going to build this house. And I gave you a pile, and 30% of the pile looked like this, and the rest looked like a perfect little building block. What do you think your structure, your house, what do you think the end result's going to be? What do you think that house is going to look like when 30% of your house consists of cells or building blocks that look like this? I don't even know if you would actually achieve it, but if you did, look at this, they don't fit. They don't fit, they don't sit nicely side by side. This is a cell or a building block that has malfunctioned. It's inflamed. It's not functioning, the way that it should or the way that it needs to in order to complete that structure. So I'm hoping that you guys are getting a very strong visual on trying to create a house with pieces that look like that, because that's what's happening inside the body. When you've got cells that are damaged like that, your body is trying to rebuild and replicate itself with cells that look like that. Now, the key factors for disease are inflammation and malfunctioning. And these cells, this is what our body's using. So I'm hoping you really grasp that oxidative stress is really bad for the body. In high levels, it is really, really bad for the body. So what causes oxidative stress? Now, as I mentioned to you before, that healthy cell getting attacked by free radicals, that's what causes oxidative stress. And I've got some really bad news for you because if you eat, breathe, or drink, you have oxidative stress. Now, 40 years ago, the oxidative stress we were exposed to doesn't even come close to what we're exposed to today. In our modern lifestyles and the way that we're living, we are exposed to way more, and I'll tell you why. We have herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, artificial colors, artificial flavors, preservatives. That's just in the food that we're eating. If you want to talk about drinking, we've got chlorinated water, and we've got goodness knows what else going on, and that whole water ecosystem. We've got all the lotions and potions, including sunscreens, that we're putting onto our bodies, and our skin is the largest organ of our body. We've got environmental exposures, we've got car exhaust, we've got all the fumes that come off of the plastics and the household goods that we live in and that we're around. We have got home Wi-Fi. Oh my gosh, if you do the research into home Wi-Fi, there is research and it proves it increases the free radical exposure and increases the oxidative stress in the body. We've got home Wi-Fi, we've got school Wi-Fi, we've got work Wi-Fi, we've got Bluetooth in the car, we've got GPS devices in our car, we've got mobile phones that are constantly on our bodies or around us in some way. We've got microwaves with radiation. The list goes on, it's insane. And every single one of the things that I just mentioned increase the free radical load in the body. They increase it. And so when you've got, because our body is amazing, we were never set up with no way of dealing with this increased free radical or with the free radicals. But the problem is the way we're living, we are overwhelmed with it. It's insane how much we are being exposed to, and our bodies just cannot cope with that level of overwhelm. They just cannot cope. That's why we are seeing increased rates of oxidative stress in the body, and that's why we're also seeing increased rates of what they call diseases of modern living. And you know what? It's a very apt term, because if you look up every single one of those diseases, you'll see they're correlated with really high levels of oxidative stress. So I'm hoping that you guys have a really good understanding now, or at least a bit of more of a visual idea of what our body's cellular makeup is and why oxidative stress is not a good thing for the body, and why we want to protect it against oxidative stress. We want to give our body a tool that's going to help us do what it was naturally able to do prior to us exposing ourselves to as much technology and as much of the clever. We're getting very clever as humans. We've created all these wonderful processes that are to help us with life, but they are also bombarding our bodies with things that we were just not meant to be exposed to. So I'm really hoping that gives you guys some ground. I hope the video was kept as short as possible. Anyone who knows me knows I like to have a chat, but I really hope you find some value in this, guys, and have an amazing Wednesday.